Have you ever wondered what makes someone a genius? Is it just about having a high IQ, or is there something more going on inside their brains? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of intelligence, exploring the very structures and processes that set brilliant minds apart from the rest. This isn't just about admiring geniuses from afar. It's about uncovering the secrets you can use to unlock your own cognitive potential. So, get ready to supercharge your thinking, because we're about to decode the science of intelligence. Let's start with a common misconception, that smart people are just born that way. While genetics play a role, what truly distinguishes highly intelligent individuals is how they use their brains. It's less about the hardware and more about the software, the strategies and processes they employ, often without even realizing it. One of the most powerful strategies is something called decomposition. When faced with a massive, overwhelming problem, most people freeze up. Their anxiety spikes and their focus shatters. But a highly intelligent person does the opposite. They instinctively break that big, scary problem down into smaller, more manageable. Think of it like trying to eat an entire elephant. You can't do it in one bite, but if you break it down into smaller pieces, it becomes doable. This chunking method isn't just for it's a fundamental principle of learning and memory. By breaking down complex information into bite-sized chunks, you reduce the cognitive load on your brain. This frees up mental resources, allowing you to focus more deeply on each individual component, understand it thoroughly, and then piece it all back together. This systematic approach not only makes the task less intimidating, but also drastically improves your chances of finding an effective solution. It's a game changer for managing anxiety and staying laser-focused. But simply breaking down problems isn't enough. The next step is to understand the connections between these smaller pieces. This is where another powerful technique comes in. Concept mapping. Instead of just listing facts or steps, intelligent minds often visualize the relationships between ideas. They create mental maps, linking cause and effect, identifying patterns, and seeing the bigger picture. This helps them not just to solve the immediate problem, but to identify the root cause. Fixing a symptom might provide temporary relief, but addressing the root cause offers a long-term, sustainable solution. This deeper level of analysis is a hallmark of superior intellect. They don't just ask what, they relentlessly ask why. Now, let's talk about memory. We all know that remembering things is crucial for learning, but intelligent people don't just have better memories. They use their memories more strategically. They understand that our brains are not perfect recording devices, so they employ clever techniques to make information stick. One of the most effective is called elaborative rehearsal. Instead of just repeating information over and over, which is known as rote memorization, they actively engage with it. They connect new information to what they already know. They ask questions about it, rephrase it in their own words, and think about its implications. For example, if they're learning a new historical fact, they might think about how it connects to other events of that era, what its long-term consequences were, or how it relates to something happening in the world today. This process of elaboration creates a rich network of connections in the brain, making the information far more meaningful and much easier to retrieve later. It's the difference between simply storing a file on your computer and creating a whole web of hyperlinks that lead you right to it when you need it. This brings us to perhaps the most important concept of all. It sounds complex, but it's simply thinking about your own thinking. It's the voice in your head that monitors your understanding, questions your assumptions, and adjusts your strategies. Highly intelligent individuals have a highly developed sense of metacognitive awareness. They're constantly self-monitoring. As they work through a problem, they'll ask themselves, do I really understand this? Is there a better way to approach this? Am I getting stuck? This internal dialogue is incredibly powerful. It allows them to catch errors before they become major issues, identify gaps in their knowledge, and flexibly adapt their strategies on the fly. For instance, if they realize a particular approach isn't working, they don't just stubbornly push forward. They pause, reassess, and pivot to a new strategy. They are aware of their own cognitive strengths and weaknesses. If they know their short-term memory isn't reliable for a particular task, they won't depend on it. Instead, they'll take notes, draw diagrams, or use other external aids to support their thinking process. This adaptability is a key trait. Intelligence isn't rigid, it's fluid. It's about having a whole toolbox of cognitive strategies and knowing which tool to use for which job. Sometimes a problem requires deep, focused analytical thought. Other times, it might call for creative out-of-the-box brainstorming. The ability to switch between these different modes of thinking is a sign of a truly agile mind. A big part of this metacognitive skill is practicing positive self-talk. The way we talk to ourselves internally has a huge impact on our performance. When you face a challenge, does your inner voice say, "This is too hard, I'll never figure it out"? Or does it say, "Okay, this is tricky, but let's break it down. What's the first step?" Highly intelligent people often use self-talk as a tool to guide their problem-solving process, stay motivated, and manage frustration. They coach themselves through difficulties, turning a monologue of doubt into a dialogue of discovery. Underpinning all of this is a crucial belief system: the growth mindset. This is the belief that intelligence and abilities are not fixed traits, but can be developed through dedication and hard work. Someone with a growth mindset sees challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to learn and grow. They embrace feedback, persist in the face of setbacks, and are inspired by the success of others. This mindset is the fertile ground in which all these other cognitive strategies can flourish. If you believe you can get smarter, you'll be more likely to put in the effort to practice decomposition, elaboration, and metacognition. You'll see the value in refining your thinking processes. So, how can you start implementing these strategies in your own life? First, the next time you face a large project or a daunting problem, consciously practice decomposition. Grab a piece of paper and break it down into the smallest possible steps. Just the act of writing it down will make it feel more manageable. Second, when you're learning something new, don't just read or listen passively. Engage in elaborative rehearsal. Try to explain the concept to a friend, or write a short summary in your own words. Create a concept map to visualize the key ideas and their connections. Third, start practicing metacognition. At the end of each day, take just 5 minutes to reflect on your thinking. What did you learn today? What challenges did you face? How did you approach them? What could you do differently next time? This simple, reflective practice can dramatically boost your self-awareness. And finally, cultivate a growth mindset. Remind yourself that every challenge is a chance to strengthen your brain. Celebrate your effort, not just your successes. That truth is genius isn't some mystical quality reserved for a chosen few. It's a collection of skills, strategies, and mindsets that can be learned, practiced, and mastered. The brains of highly intelligent people are not fundamentally different from ours. They are just more practiced at using these powerful cognitive tools. By understanding how they break down problems, make information stick, and monitor their own thinking, you can start to build those same neural pathways in your own brain. You have the power to unlock your own hidden genius. It all starts with a decision to think differently. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the mind. If you found this helpful and want to learn more ways to boost your brain power, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. Let me know in the comments which of these strategies you're most excited to try. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.